Cool. Looks like we're live. What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy NarikChase, and we are doing another head-to-head edition. And in this one, we are going to be comparing the Sabretooth, the two live-action adaptations that we have. One is Liev Schreiber's version of the character from the 2009 X-Men Origins Wolverine film, and the other is Taylor Main's portrayal of the character in the X-Men that came out in 2000. So let's go ahead and get this going. I'm so happy I got it right that time. So, anyways, in this head-to-head, we're going to be comparing the two live-action Sabretooths that we have had on the big screen in the two X-Men films. Um, Now, for those who don't know, Sabretooth in the comics is one of the Marvel Comics villains. He's most notable for just being this deadly assassin that's completely bloodthirsty. If you think Wolverine has his really bloodthirsty and just wild and savage nature, Sabretooth is really the embodiment of that. He's just a complete badass. Everything that Wolverine tries not to be, that's what Sabretooth is. Sabretooth is really a nemesis of the X-Men, but more so on a personal level when it comes to Wolverine. He's a mutant that's normally uh, he's most notable for working with and under Magneto in the Brotherhood of Mutants and stuff, but he's gone with other organizations and groups as well. So let's talk about the live adaptations of them in the films. Predominantly in both films, he does act as an antagonist. Now, if we're gonna go by the actual personality of the character, both of them do show a very savage, a very bloodthirsty, a really ruthless and cruel Sabretooth, and in that I think they both work really well. The only one I would say Liev Schreiber takes a bit more of that is a bit more in that category because he does have a more fleshed out personality. His backstory is a bit more revealed. He does have an actual personal connection with the main character, Logan, in the X Men Origins film, and he's one of the main characters. So it is, I say Liv Schreiber has a bit more going for him in terms of the actual personality of the character. He's cruel, he's ruthless, he has this dark, twisted sense of humor. He just does not care. And I love that about him. Even if you look at the picture now, he just has this wicked smile, and it's pretty fun. He even challenges like several of the characters in the film to just like he's just so bloodthirsty. What was one of his best sequences was he was going to rape this girl because he was in the war and he was going to rape this girl, and like all his fellow soldiers end up coming to try to stop him from doing that, and he's just like he does not care. I'm like, now I'm not saying him trying to rape this chick is like a good thing or anything like that because you do have people that would take it that way, but they're assholes and they're stupid. I'm just saying that he's a character that does what he wants when he's in the mood to do it, and he does not care about the repercussions. He doesn't care about the people that he's hurt. Uh, he has really some of the best scenes in the film actually because of that dark atmosphere to him. So I really do like his actual performance as a character because you do get to see more of acting, more depth to the character than in Tyler Mane. Well, I put Taylor Mane, but it's Tyler Mane, Tyler Mane's character. Um, so I do like Tyler Mane's portrayal because he is pretty ruthless, but he doesn't get much dialogue. He doesn't get really any good screen time, so you don't know what's actually going on in his head. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. And it's hard to kind of gauge it because well, it's not really hard to kind of gauge it because, like I said, Liv Schreiber does have more dialogue. He does have more scenes and stuff, so you get a bit more of the edge of his personality. And I would say between these two, if we're going by the source material, I think Liv Schreiber's incarnation of the character does feel more in tuned with the character and personality wise. Now, if we're going by designs, which is where I was going to step on to next, I would say Tyler Mane. Tyler Mane just has it down pat with the overall design. Like if you love his design from the comics, you're definitely gonna love the way he looks in this film. I do like Liev Schreiber's because it feels more subtle and it isn't as I don't want to say over the top, but it isn't as extreme as Tyler Mane. But if you're going by like he's a beast and he does not give a crap and he's vicious and he's ruthless, Tyler Mane has definitely definitely got the edge on it. Man got this long flowing hair. He has the dark eyes. He has the extreme fangs. He has huge claws. He's a big burly guy. And now I'm kind of on edge about the furs and stuff because it's a cool concept and it feels like if he like stayed in the woods by himself or something, then it'd be cool. But if you like live with like other people or something like that, you wouldn't be wearing something like that. But it feels like if he was like in the wilderness or something, he would wear that. But I could see the character from the comics actually wearing something like this. So I'm not gonna harp on that too. But I do think it does look pretty cool. And so in terms of overall design, I would say Tyler Mane takes it all the way. Now I do, like I said, I do like Liev Schreiber's, and I feel like it's more subtle. But then again, at the same time, it's like if you look at him, he doesn't really look like Sabretooth. I mean, actually, he got the personality there. But at the same time, yeah, he doesn't actually look like him. But I have to say, Tyler Mane just looks freaking epic. Even when he first pops up on the scene in one of the most badass entrances, where he just emerges from the woods and like this as this big figure and takes out this and throws Logan and then takes out this big ass tree and knocks his ass out. I mean, the dude looks freaking beast. Like I would be scared to talk to this guy. I honestly would say hands down, he just whoever did the costume design for him is freaking awesome. They deserve a thumbs up, two thumbs up actually. So I can actually say that yeah, Tyler Mane definitely takes the overall design of the character between the two because I think he looks extremely badass. Now, if we're going by the actual abilities, I want to say that they're about equal. I do want to say that the two characters are about equal because each one of them do have similar abilities, but at the same time they do tend to have different ones that I think are okay and some pretty cool. And for those who don't know, I think I did do a Sabretooth versus Sabretooth video a while back. I think it was on another one of my channels, so I'm redoing it now on this head to head. But I don't know why I brought that up. But but let's get back to abilities. First, let's talk about Liev Schreiber's. I like Liev Schreiber's because, like I said, he had enhanced strength. He had the bloodthirst, the enhanced senses, which was really cool. He had the regeneration, the advanced healing. But he had two distinct features that I thought was pretty cool, actually, and that actually helped distinct his character a bit more his incarnation a bit more from Tyler Mane's, and that is he could run on all fours, which is really cool, and he could, manipulate the length of his nails. So there'd be certain sequences where he's about to get ready to kill someone, or he's about to get ready to fight someone, and you see his nails extend. And I thought that was actually done pretty well. And also, the film does a good job of actually it's talking more about his healing factor as well. That his healing factor is super advanced, almost to the point of Logan's, but not as efficient as his. Like they're almost there. Like this would be Sabretooth, and this is probably what Logan's will be, but they're extremely close because he ends up surviving a freaking fireland squad. So I do like the fact that they did harp on his abilities a lot, especially the regeneration. But I think the whole run up to all fours, because it was one part where he was running up all fours up this wall at this fortress that he was going to with this group, and I thought that was freaking awesome as well. But like some of the best moments, especially like when you first see him do it in a fight, like you see, yeah. In fact, when you first see him do it, he's like in the middle of this war and he's just running on all fours. I'm like, oh, that is freaking awesome. So I did really like that. And like I said, the nails growing thing, which he used effectively for like some of the best sequences, was a part where he did like a light bulb. He was holding on to his light bulb and his nails did. There was one part where he was walking up to this car and his nails extended. He was cutting into the scratch in the car. And one of my favorite moments was when he was getting ready to fight Wade Wilson, and he had his hands clasped, but you can see his nails like elongate. Then I like that's freaking awesome. Now in terms of Tyler Maine's incarnation of the character, his abilities you don't really get to see a lot of them, which I really wish they would have did a better job of actually showing. But you do get to see the standard ones. Yes, he has increased strength. Hell, he picked up this he picked up this tree and swung it and hit Logan like it was a bat, you know. So that was pretty cool. Of course, he's got the enhanced senses. Of course, he's got the regeneration. You could tell one of his best moments in the film is when he's fighting Logan on top of the Statue of Liberty, and Logan is just cutting and stabbing and everything, and the dude just not going down. Of course, he's got these really big nails, like these really big talons, these claws, and that could easily just disembowel a person. Of course, he's got the enhanced strength. He's a really big dude. And he's pretty agile too, because that was a pretty cool fight. In fact, it was actually not a bad fight. And also, I like one of the biggest things I like about Tyler Mane, even though Liev Schreiber does do it, but not as extremely as Tyler Mane, is when he has this animalistic. He has a very animalistic way about him. So when he's fighting, he's like roar. He's like roaring and stuff, and he's the senses and stuff. So I feel that he's a bit more animalistic, and I think that's actually pretty cool. Now, in terms of like other abilities, you don't really get them, and I do say that Liev Schreiber does have showcase a little bit more of his abilities, but because hell, you know, what was I about to say? Yeah, um, even with Sabretooth survives getting hit by lightning. That was one pretty cool thing, and he got hit by an energy blast, and he like fell like hundreds of feet into a boat that sank. And I'm quite sure he would have survived that, but I don't know the extent of his damage. And then if you think about it, it's like, okay, so if the blast hit him and it burned a hole in his chest, and even though he can regenerate, it would take him a minute for him to heal. But I also don't know how efficiently. Well, it has to be efficient because Logan was stabbing him in the fight, and he was still surviving. But then again, there could also be, adrenaline and stuff. But when he fell through the boat started sinking. He should have survived that technically. I mean, if he drowned because he was stunned, or if the boat collapsed in on him or something, I can okay, maybe I can understand he died. But anyway, let's get besides the point. But like I said, in terms of actual abilities, I want to say, Schreiber does a bit more. I have to give it to Schreiber. But like I said, he does showcase more of his abilities. Yeah, he does showcase a bit more of his abilities, and I think that does give him a bit of an edge over Tyler Maines. Now, if we're gonna go to the actual like backstory, like story of the characters. Unfortunately, Schreiber would take this as well because the film is centered around him, because he has more of an attachment to the main character, because it actually goes into his backstory. He actually is one of the actual, yes, the story, the film surrounds Logan, but he's actually just as important in the story as Logan is. And as much as I like Tyler Maine's version, you don't get one of the biggest problems of the movie is that you don't get none of his motivations. You don't understand his backstory. You don't understand almost anything about the character, why he's doing what he's doing, how his mutation activated or whatever, like what led him down this road, why is he so bloodthirsty. There's literally nothing in the film talking about that, and I think that is a major step back. So Liev Schreiber will take this on as well. Now, if we're gonna go with the actual role of the character in the film, I can actually say it's a bit more balanced. Yes, Liev Schreiber is one of the it is a bit more fleshed out in the film, but I can't say that Sabretooth didn't have a major role in X-Men in the first X-Men movie as you know either. So he was a major antagonist. He was antagonizing people. Both of them have really good moments. I mean, one of my favorite moments with Tyler Mane is when he picks up Storm and he's like, "Scream for me." You know, so I like that. I like moments like that. So I could say I'm going to say in terms of the actual importance to the film, even though Schreiber is more of a main character than Main is, I'm going to say I give him equal. I'll say they're on the level playing field. Now, in terms of this episode of Head to Head, when we're talking about these two characters, which one of these two characters stands out more than the other? I would have to give it to Schreiber's character because his character is a bit more fleshed out. Yes, I like Maine. He was pretty cool. He was very intimidating. He looked awesome. He was freaking badass. But Schreiber just has a bit more of an advantage because his character was fleshed out more in the film. So, guys, in the comment section below, let me know um, which one of these actors does a better job, or which one of these incarnations of the character is better, and also let me know are there some points that I glossed over but didn't really get into, and tell me, and also tell me why. Don't just tell me why they're your favorite. Tell me why you like them more than the other or better than the other. And be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on in this channel. And can't wait to see you guys on the next edition of Head to Head.